We welcome back John Burke returning and special guest Gina Ratermann. Good morning to the both of you. How are you both doing?
Pretty good.
Scott. It's good to be back, bud.
I talked to an old friend, Cindy Timmerman. Haven't had a chance to touch base with her for several years, and she is working with, I guess we'll let John explain maybe a little bit about the transformation of Old Camp Joy into Whispering Pines of Clinton County, which, of course, Jarrett Burke Foundation is so closely associated.
Yeah, Scott, we several years ago, I was working with Gary Wrench and Dan Gross and Helen Wrench, and that knowing that someday the Scouts might not have a camp out here with all their consolidation and such that they were doing. And well, that came a little bit faster than I had planned on. So we had a gracious pair of good friends, Carl Becker and his wife, both came to the table, and they actually purchased the property from the Centralia Foundation after about 8 months of negotiating back and forth and carrying on. But we ended up getting the camp. Carl did, buying it, and now he's in the process of doing an irrevocable trust so it can remain as a camp and a camp setting for all different types of people. We've got some of our executives set up. We're going for a 501c3. Carl Becker and his wife Taylor. Carl's the president of the Whispering Pines of Clinton County. I'm vice president. Susan Potter is the treasurer, and then Diane Litjohn is our secretary. And your good friend that you were talking about, Cindy Timmerman, her and Gina are heading up the communications piece for the camp. And then we've got Gary Wrench and Dan Gross for maintenance, Helen Wrenchen for scheduling, and Laura Beckman's Jared Burke Foundation's liaison out there. So what we're doing is JBF is a intricate part of it because I've been intimately involved with trying to get this thing done for several years, and then just didn't have the collateral. But Carl and them stepped forward.
How about that?
And
yeah, that's awesome.
They're a godsend. There's no doubt, because there's a lot of good things that are going to be going on with the JBF. We're going to have youth organizations, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, 4-H, a whole league of others that we're going to have out there. Community Link, Head Start. We got veterans. We're in negotiations with VA over in St. Louis with Johnny Schmink, and then Rachel Smith is an alumni of the Wounded Warriors, and we're on the verge of talking with those guys too to try to provide a sanctuary for the veterans that have both visible and invisible injuries. And then lastly, but certainly not least, we got religious groups along with schools and such that we're going to be able to provide a variety of things out there, as the logo is that we've got for the camp is refreshing the soul through nature and conservation. And that's what we're after in today's world. I can't express how much nature is going to heal those folks that are able to take a part in it. So
it's got to be great to be able to have a place to hang your flag too, to see that Jarrett Burke Foundation branding along with this facility, Old Camp Joy, now Whispering Pines of Clinton County. So as we're making arrangements to welcome you and our special guest, Gina Ratermann, I had talked with Cindy briefly, and I said, I'm sure I've crossed paths with Gina through the years, and as soon as we all collaborated here, of course, I've seen you years and years living here in this great community, well over 25 plus years. So it's great to welcome you, Gina. We want to talk about the event that's coming up on Saturday. Now, I know many across, which I like to call Maxland, but many across our broadcast area knew and loved Greg Ratermann, and he touched so many through his years. He was your brother.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Tell people about Greg Ratermann for those who maybe didn't know him or only knew a little bit about him, and the legacy he leaves to this day.
Well, Greg was a teacher. He was a coach. He was a great mentor. He was a pain in the butt older brother. But I've learned more and more, probably after his death, how much of a mentor and everything he was to kids. I guess the whole idea of the fishing tournament came about when he passed and we were at his visitation. A young freshman, sophomore boy came through the receiving line, and he was just so beside himself. And just, I mean, he couldn't even look up. And me and my other brother, Eric, kind of took him to the side and to see what, if he was going to be okay. And he said that he got really bad anxiety attacks. And Mr. Ratermann always, made it better and brought him down. So that just always stuck with me. And like a week went by, I just couldn't shake it. And so I reached out to John and said, we got to do something. All these kids are on their video games and their electronics. And I just we were raised outside.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to have this fishing tournament in Greg's name. The number one thing I wanted to do was I wanted to make it totally free. I did not want to raise money. We just wanted to make it, we took donations and made it 100% of the money goes to 100% of the fishing tournament.
Nice.
So it is totally free to kids.
And this is now where we've reached the 3rd annual Greg Ratermann Youth Fishing Tournament for kids 12 and under. And this is coming up on Saturday. So why don't you tell us about the event, and if people are interested, what do they need to do to register for this event? This is on Saturday at, as we establish now, formerly Camp Joy, Whispering Pines of Clinton County.
So yeah, on the Whispering Pines Facebook page, if you scroll down, and I'll post it again today to update, there is a registration link that you go on and just register your kids. And then everybody will get registrations at 8, and we'll have lunch at 9 or lunch at 11. Everybody will get a t-shirt. There's prizes to win. And like I said, everything's free.
That's great. And then if anyone would like to, would you prefer early registration, or can they just come out that morning if they're there by 8?
I mean, when you could register online, so we know how much food
counting
and
heads. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And then when I say registration at 8 in the morning, it's just coming up, and we'll have a table set up. We'll get everybody's name. Everybody will get a t-shirt, and then we're ready to rock and roll with fishing.
Well, I'd have to believe you have a lot of community support, because, John, you can attest to this with the Jarrett Burke Foundation. Remind everyone how many years you've been running, and the Jarrett Burke Foundation's been rocking across, the country. I mean, you might call home here, but you're across the country with all the traveling you're doing and all the good things you're doing. How many years has Jarrett Burke Foundation been around?
Yeah, the concept and everything came up in 2014, and I ended up getting my 501c3 after our first banquet, actually in 2015. So in the last 7 years,
Wow.
We've been on probably close to 150 outings all over the country.
That is amazing.
Just everywhere, Maine down to, we got New Mexico this August. We're going, it's a new spot, and we've got the Vietnam veterans going out to Montana again with us the end of this month. And it's just we've got a lot of stuff going on. Me and you can get together again sometime in the near future, and I can go over some of the stuff that we got going on.
I told you, Gina, I told John a long time ago, I said, boy, you can do your own radio program. He doesn't even need me. We'll just have John do his own show. We can make that work. I think you've...
I have to tell you, when I reached out to him to do this the very first time, all I said was, we have to do something. I gave him an idea, and he says, you got our support. Whatever you need, we'll be there. And he has. Every year, we usually have a stock car out there. Somebody brings a stock car for the kids to see. We have the Jarrett Burke Foundation, huge bass fishing boat. We have all the guys that come and help the kids. We have Central and Mater Day usually come, the bass fishing teams.
That's nice.
And they go around and they help the kids. And I mean, we're up to over 50 registered so far for Saturday.
That is great. That's coming up, and we're going to have a good day. Heat's going to break, and it's going to be an awesome Saturday and a great way to get your Saturday and your weekend started. Is there anything else either of you would like to add regarding tell everyone one more time how they can register. I want to make sure they get that website burned into their brain. So why don't you do that one more time, Gina?
So on the Whispering Pines Facebook page, we will have a link, and I'll post it again today to make sure it's at the top. You just click that link, and it'll go to the registration page, and you just right there.
It's pretty easy.
And you put in the T-shirt size and your kid's name and everything like that.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Anything else you'd like to add, Gina, before we wrap things up?
Yes, I would like to do a shout out to our sponsors.
Yes.
Everybody that helps in this. We have the Illinois Conservation Foundation, brings out all the pins for your hats with the crappie and bass on it for the kids when they catch fish. The Optimists and the Avison Gun Club, always they make a donation, and XL has their ski products out there. Dairy King does the lunch for us.
Oh, nice.
I got my own company I work for, Brightly Senior Living, are making all the chocolate chip cookies for the lunch. And our host is Whispering Pines, and the co-chair, of course, is Jared Burke Foundation. So, and then thanks for the high schools that come out and help.
Yeah, this sounds like a great event for a great man. And we all, for those who had the opportunity to cross paths with your brother Greg, what a better person we all are for the little bit or the lot we got to know him. I know my oldest daughter, was just crazy about him and the impact he left on her and students like her. John, anything else you'd like to add before we say so long?
Yeah, I just want to let everybody know that we do have a website for Whispering Pines of Clinton County. It's wpofcc.org. So wpofcc.org. And can't thank Michelle enough over at TechNode for getting us started up on that. And she always does a great job, did us a tremendous favor by helping us out on reduced costs and that. So shout out to her and everybody else that's come together on it. Joe Blanchard's going to be helping us out at the camp on it. And mark your calendars, because August 27th, we got a lot of big projects we want to do out at the camp. And August 27th, we're going to be having a benefit for Whispering Pines of Clinton County at Hondo's in hometown Bartello.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah, there'll be some more.
We'll have to have you back on before we get to that event.
Yep. Actually, Hondo's is the place I grew up.
Yeah.
It was Burke's Tavern. So
that's awesome.
It's a great thing, and we got a lot of good people, Dina Ratermann and them, all working on this, trying to get this put together. So it'll be a good event. So just watch out for it, and there'll be more on that.
August 27th. So put that down on your calendar, and then we'll fill in all the blanks as we get a little bit closer to that event. And I can't let you go.
Absolutely.
We'll start by thanking our special guest, Gina Ratermann. It was a pleasure to have you, and
thank you.
Thanks for telling us a little bit more about your big brother. And looking forward to the 3rd annual Greg Ratermann fishing event coming up on Saturday. I couldn't let you go without asking, how's that sweet mom of yours doing, John?
She's doing great.
Ornery as ever.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just scared her this morning when I walked in. She didn't have her hearing aids on. I said, hello. And she's like, ah! Try not to give her a heart attack.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we can keep that ornery lady staying as ornery as always, and certainly a wonderful lady and a wonderful family, and my pleasure to welcome the both of you here to Mornings with Scott Patrick. You both have open invitation to return whenever you'd like. Maybe one day we'll get that John radio program booked.